Hello travelers, I'm Chris, welcome to Lore Spire. Today we're going to be covering all of the spells in the Angel Mythic Spellbook. All of the spells that are unique to the Angel will be detailed, but all other spells will simply be listed. If you plan to play an Angel when Wrath of the Righteous releases, you should check out the videos we have covering the details of the Angel Mythic Path and its Sword of Heaven and Angelic Halo abilities. You can find the links to those videos in the description, along with the timestamps for this video if you want to skip ahead. Now, before we get to the spell list, I want everyone to know that these are all of the spells you get if you choose the Angel Mythic Spellbook. If instead you decide to combine the Angel Spellbook with your class Spellbook, then you will receive the spells that are unique to the Angel as bonus spells, but you will not receive the other spells listed here unless they are included in your class's spellbook. Also, the Angel's spellbook can only be combined with the spellbook of a full Divine Spellcaster class, such as the Oracle and Cleric classes. Level 1 spells include Bless, Cure Light Wounds, Divine Power, Remove Sickness, and Unbreakable Heart. None of these are unique spells. Level 2 spells include Aid, Arrow of Law, Blessing of Courage and Life, Blessing of Luck and Resolve, Cure Moderate Wounds, Delay Poison, Remove Paralysis, Restoration Lesser, and Sound Burst. Again, none of these are unique spells. Level 3 spells include Archon's Aura, Cure Serious Wounds, Delay Poison Communal, Grant Repose, Prayer, Remove Blindness, Remove Disease, Shield from Demon Kind, and Ward Against Disease. Now we finally have some unique spells. The first of which is Grant Repose. You make a touch attack against any undead creature. If it fails its saving throw, it is immediately destroyed. If it succeeds in its saving throw, it is dealt 2d6 damage plus 1 per 2 caster levels. Next is Shield from Demon Kind. For 1 minute per caster level, anytime the target of this spell is attacked by a demon, the demon is dealt 1d6 damage plus 1 per 2 caster levels. The target also gains a deflection bonus to AC equaling 2 plus 1 per 6 caster levels. Last, we have Ward Against the Disease. The target gains immunity from disease for 10 minutes per caster level. Level 4 spells include Blade of the Sun, Cure Critical Wounds, Divine Power, Neutralize Poison, Pure Form, Repel the Profane, Restoration, Ward Against Disease Communal, and Ward Against Impurity. The first of these unique spells is Blade of the Sun. You create a 60-foot long line of holy energy that deals 1d8 holy damage per 2 caster levels to all targets in that line. Next is Pure Form. You heal yourself for 1d8 hit points per caster level and dispel any negative effects you have. Repel the Profane. This spell affects all undead, evil outsiders, and divine casters dedicated to an evil deity. This spell affects all creatures in a 50-foot cone. If the targets fail a will saving throw, they become frightened for 1 round per caster level. If they succeed in their save, they are instead shaken for 1 round. This spell ignores immunity to fear effects. Ward Against Disease Communal. This is an AoE ward against disease that affects all allies within 20 feet. Last is Ward Against Impurity. The target gains immunity to the nauseated and sickened conditions, diseases, and poison for 10 minutes per caster level. Now, if you're getting any value from this, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot, and I would really truly appreciate it. Thank you. Level 5 spells include Breath of Life, Burst of Glory, Cleanse, Cleansing Flame, Cure Light Wounds Mass. Flame Strike, Pillar of Life, Raise Dead, Sacred Nimbus. Serenity, Vine Trap, Ward Against Harm, and Ward Against Impurity Communal. The first of our level 5 unique spells is Cleansing Flames. This targets all creatures in a 20-foot radius centered on a point within medium range. Every enemy in this radius is dealt 1d6 holy damage per caster level. Allies are dealt 1 holy damage per caster level, but are also healed from all ability score damage, blindness, confusion, and the dazzled, exhausted, fatigued, nauseated, and sickened conditions. Additionally, this spell attempts to dispel all diseases, poisons, and curses from allies. You take a little bit of damage, but I think it's a really good trade-off. Next is Ward Against Harm. The target gains immunity to the nauseated and sickened conditions, diseases, poisons, ability damage, and ability drain for 10 minutes per caster level. Last is Ward Against Impurity Communal, which is an AoE ward against impurity that affects all allies within 20 feet. Level 6 spells include Aegis of the Faithful, Blade Barrier, Blessing of Luck and Resolve Mass, Bolt of Justice, Chains of Light, Cure Moderate Wounds Mass, Eagle Soul, Heal, Holy Hymn, Inspiring Recovery, Joyful Rapture, Ward Against Harm Communal, and Ward Against Weakness. The first of our level 6 unique spells is Aegis of the Faithful, and it's pretty awesome. This blessing targets one ally within close range, granting them the combined effects of Shield, Shield of Faith, Protection from Arrows, Displacement, and resist fire, cold, electricity, and sonic spells for 1 minute per caster level. That's a lot of defense from one spell. Next is Bolt of Justice, which is really 4 spells in one, so it's going to take a little while to explain. This spell targets one enemy at long range. It deals 1d6 points of holy damage per caster level. The target must succeed in a reflex saving throw or become prone. If the target is evil, it instead takes 1d8 points of holy damage per caster level and must succeed in a reflex saving throw or become prone and suffer a -2 penalty to AC, attack rolls, and saving throws. If the target is an evil outsider or an undead, the spell deals 1d10 points of holy damage per caster level. If the target fails its saving throw, it becomes prone and suffers a -4 penalty to AC, attack rolls, and saving throws. Okay, last one. If the target is a demon lord, an evil dragon, or a lord of the undead, this spell deals 1d12 points of holy damage per caster level, and they suffer a -4 penalty to AC, attack rolls, and saving throws. Also, it must succeed in a saving throw or become prone. Wow, that's a lot, but basically the more evil and powerful a creature is, the more powerful this spell becomes against it. Next is Holy Hymn. This spell affects all creatures within a 40-foot burst, giving allied creatures a +2 luck bonus on attack rolls, damage rolls, saves, and skill checks, while each enemy receives a -2 penalty to those rolls. Ward Against Harm Communal is an AoE ward against harm that affects all allies within a 20-foot radius. Last, we have Ward Against Weakness. Targeted ally gains immunity to the fatigued, exhausted, nauseated, and sickened conditions, as well as diseases, poisons, ability damage, and ability drain for 10 minutes per level. Level 7 spells include Cure Serious Wounds Mass, Holy Word, Jolting Portent, Radiant Ground, Restoration Greater, Resurrection, Sunmarked, Wall of Light, and Ward Against Weakness Communal. The first unique spell here is Radiant Ground. You create a 20-foot radius centered on a point within medium range for a number of rounds equal to your caster level. Each round, every creature in the area is healed for 1d6 hit points per 2 caster levels. Next is Sunmark. For 1 minute per caster level, one allied target's attacks deal 1d6 holy damage per 4 caster levels, and any creature striking that target in melee deals normal damage, but also takes 1d6 points of fire damage plus 1 per caster level. Wall of Light. You create a Wall of Light which deals 1d6 points of holy damage per caster level to any evil creature that passes through it. Any good or neutral creature passing through it gains an additional 2d6 holy damage on their next attack. If a good or neutral creature charges through the wall, it instead deals 1d6 holy damage with its next attack. Last, we have Ward Against Weakness Communal, which, as I'm sure you would never guess, is an AoE ward against weakness that affects all allies within 20 feet. Shocking, I know. Level 8 spells include Avenger's Blessing, Cure Critical Wounds Mass, Euphoric Tranquility, Firestorm, Gale of Life, Solar Chains, Storm of Justice, and Storm Bolts. Our first of the Angel's level 8 unique spells is Avenger's Blessing. This spell targets an ally at close range, giving them the combined effects of the Divine Power, Holy Aura, and Greater Heroism spells for 1 round per caster level. Next is Gale of Life, which acts exactly like Breath of Life, except it affects all allies in a 20-foot burst centered on the caster. So we get an AoE healing spell that can return allies to life? Hells yeah! Solar Chains. A creature targeted by this spell is held immobile for a number of rounds equal to your caster level. This creature is paralyzed, held in place, and is dealt 4d6 damage plus 1 per caster level every round. A reflex saving throw negates this spell, and the creature has a chance to save every round. If the initial save is successful, then the target is staggered for 1 round and dealt 4d6 damage. Last is Storm of Justice, which functions exactly the same as Bolt of Justice, except it affects all enemies in a 30-foot burst centered on a target point within long range. The Angel's level 9 spells include Bring Back, Fortress of the Faithful, Heal Mass, Overwhelming Presence, Sunform, and Wrath of the Righteous. First up, we have Bring Back. This spell restores 10 hit points per caster level to target creature within touch range. If cast on a creature that died within 1 round, apply the healing from this spell to that creature. If its new hit point total is above the threshold of death, the creature comes back to life and stabilizes. Otherwise, it remains dead. Creatures brought back to life with this spell gain a temporary negative level that lasts for 1 day. Next is Fortress of the Faithful. This spell is an AoE Aegis of the Faithful that lasts for 1 hour. Sunform. For a number of rounds equal to your caster level, you become incorporeal and gain the ability to shoot rays of holy fire as a swift action, dealing 1d6 damage per caster level. Half of this damage is fire and the other half is holy. And last, we have the game's namesake spell, Wrath of the Righteous. All demons in a 40-foot radius around the caster must make a will saving throw. If the save is failed, the demons are dealt 10 damage per caster level. If the saving throw succeeds, the demons are instead dealt 1d6 damage per caster level. That completes the Angel Mythic Spellbook. Personally, I prefer the Lich Spellbook, but there is undoubtedly a lot of power here, And given the setting of the game, the Angel may just have the best of the mythic spells. Do you agree with me, or do you remain unimpressed? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you are there. This has been Chris with Lorespire. May you vanquish your enemies and bring peace to Mendev.